All righty. I will call the meeting to order. Statement of public notice. Hereby provided a written notice of the agenda of the public meeting is stated below. There's an opportunity for public comment as noted on the agenda upon recognition by the presiding officer. Roll call. We have Anton, myself, Terry, and Teresa is here from the board. In theory, Mary will be joining soon, but she's driving home in traffic, so I'm not betting on it. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I got halfway through and thought I missed a line.
Oh, yeah.
Adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda? I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Oh, Terry
second.
can too. And you second. There you go.
Approval of minutes from the technology from 4/23. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the 4/23 meeting because I just read them this afternoon. They look good. Do I have a second?
Second.
There you go.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comments. Does anybody want to make a comment for any item that is not on the agenda?
It's raining hard.
Yeah, that was definitely not on the agenda.
It was not.
But hey, it's not snowing, so we're good.
True.
All right, items for discussion. Google Drive shared storage, Synology. So I got the info on the specific model that we have. We have the Synology, what's it called? The NS, I think it's NS. Network station, desktop station. Yes. It's at any rate, it's a Synology 420 plus.
Okay.
It has 16 terabytes of storage, 12 terabytes usable. So it's set up in a fault tolerant configuration. So basically we have 12 terabytes of storage available on that device, which is a huge amount, but in this day and age, it's not that much, but I don't anticipate us having any issues with space anytime in the foreseeable future for our use.
Probably a DS 420 plus. That's what I
That's
have.
it,
at home.
DS. Desktop station, that was it.
Okay, what is it called?
DS 420 plus.
Yes, okay.
So I did quite a bit of looking into the capabilities and one of the key things I was hoping for was that we could use Active Directory for the people that actually have town accounts. So for the board and for the clerk's office and anybody that actually has basically an email address for the town. And then set up what are called local accounts for everybody else that needs access. Not totally surprised, but the Synology, none of their devices supports both of those modes at the same time. So if you're going to say we're going to use Active Directory, then everybody that's going to have access has to have an account. And otherwise you have to go with local accounts. And that means that people with Active Directory will have to have an account on the local device. That's actually pretty common. There's a lot of different applications that allow you to use one or the other, but not both at the same time. What that means in essence is it will work from a security perspective the exact same way that Google does. So you can use your town, you could set up accounts under the email addresses of the individuals, but the password on the Synology shared drive will be specific to the Synology. So it's not going to be the same as their email password unless they set the password for both to be the same.
Okay.
That's the exact same way Google Drive works right now. So it's not a loss. But it's really nice from an administrative point of view is if you could handle all the people that were part of the town email system. They would just have access, they would have credentials by nature of being having their email address, and then you just have to set what they have access to, and then
Yeah.
shutting it off would be as simple as turning off their email account.
Yeah.
But now the way it's gonna work is you'd have to do exactly the way you have to do now with Google is you'd have to disable their email account and you'd have to still separately go and disable their access. So that was kind of the biggest thing. The other thing I did find is the way I'm guessing, the way that you shared the drive with this committee was a way that allows access without having to log in. So basically, because if anybody that has that link can access that drive. Generally, that's not what we're gonna wanna use from a security perspective. I haven't figured out for sure. I'm actually trying to get mine set up with the configured the same way. I'm pretty sure you can turn that ability off, so you can't mistakenly do it, which I think we'd want to do. But it absolutely supports all the different, actually more levels of security than Google does, so it would, if we decide to go forward and so what I'm thinking about doing for next month is put together kind of an administration guide that I think would be what we'd want to use if we switch to the Synology for our storage.
Can we invite Tim next time too? Because he has some experience with this,
Yeah.
with other
Oh,
clients.
And funny you should mention that, because I was thinking about that earlier today and I forgot to mention it now, is I'd actually like to ask Tim for his thoughts. For that very reason,
Yeah.
since he's done it for other clients,
Mhm.
do they have a recommended
Yeah.
administration guide or documentation that they would recommend?
So can you put that out there tomorrow to him to come to the next meeting?
Yeah, and ask him if he has a document already, because if they're using this for other customers, they may have already put together a
Yeah.
guide of here's how you administer it, and it'd be great to get that ahead of time if possible.
And we don't have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, absolutely, because if they've already got one that covers it, that's great, and I'd love to get it, like I said, I'd like to get it like a week or so in advance,
Ahead of
because then I can try it out on
Yeah.
mine just to see if it makes sense to me. Not that I don't trust him, but I've always learned you trust and verify.
Mhm.
So that's my update on the Synology.
Okay.
Any questions or comments on that? All right, so next week, next month, we'll talk about Synology administration, security
Okay.
administration. That's kind of going to be the key bullet point for that. All right. Password management. Anton, do we have an update on password management?
We don't, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No problem. I hadn't seen anything and I like, we can carry it for another month. All right, so we'll carry that over
that-
for, what's that?
Yeah, I guess the one thing I'd say is, I think you had mentioned a couple of password
Yep.
manager type solutions that were not on the list.
Yep.
And if you can get those to me, then I'll update it.
Oh, yeah, sounds good. I'll email that and I'll
As-
copy the clerk's office as well.
Great. And I'll integrate that with my other changes. They're just not quite ready yet. Sorry
Sounds
about that.
good. Perfect. Spam emails and procedures. I don't remember exactly what the note was from last month, but it was something that Terry was gonna do.
I'm looking at like.
Okay, Terry.
I
Yeah.
was gonna pull up the minutes real quick, because
I think you were gonna talk to Tim is what's.
I
in
was
my
thinking
brain.
that's what it
Didn't
was
talk to
too.
Tim about our security, our spam,
Yes,
whatever he.
The spam
whatever you
filter.
call it, The
That's
spam
it.
filter, yeah.
Yeah, because he's got double double or triple
Yep.
filter on this system. It doesn't mean that we still don't get them once in a
Yeah.
while, but
And I got, yeah, he kind of walked me through it. I've been in it before.
Mhm.
So it's something that I log into and I can see
Oh, okay.
everybody who's blocked somebody or who it's anything that's being put into the
yeah,
spam folders. And so we
And
can
I
see all of that there.
I think the one specific question that we had last month was, are we subscribed to like a some kind of global blocking
Global service.
service?
yeah, and you have to ask Tim that.
that one, I don't think I asked him.
Yep, that's,
Okay.
yep, that's,
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I will ask.
No,
when I
that's fine.
talk to him.
yeah, and if you want, the question is actually in last month's notes. So,
Okay,
at least you know
At least I
what we were gonna
typed it.
ask.
okay.
All right. Yeah, because that sounds, what you're describing sounds like the local filter that in essence, typically, and you'd mentioned that there were two levels, so
Yeah.
this may be it, because there's the global one and then that you can't influence.
Yeah.
And then there's a local one that you can influence, that you can add stuff that, you know, you have somebody that you just consider spam, you can
Yeah,
Yeah,
add them in or things like that, but, so, yeah, we just want to confirm
I
that.
think I asked him.
I-
I don't,
I suspect we have that, but it'd be important to know if we do and exactly which one to subscribe to.
okay,
And the plus side is if we have him attend next month.
then
We
we
can
can
just
just
ask
ask him.
yes, that
like
would be
that.
good.
Yeah,
So yeah, so we
Okay.
can, we could put a little asterisk by, well, actually, kind of each one of them for what to ask Tim next month, if he can make it. All right. Any other on the spam emails and procedures? Town hall update.
Yay. We let the bid, it was in under budget. So we're excited about that. We also let the bid for the well that came in almost 100 grand under budget,
Wow.
which is exciting as heck. So now I feel like, well, we got some breathing room here because we were getting pretty close to the budget on things. And this makes me feel much better. So a
I
couple
have a
of,
buffer for when it goes over budget.
yes. So a couple of things. I'm gonna have Terry reload to you the quotations that Tim sent us
Mhm.
for what has to be done at the town hall, and I'll have her get them in this week. Cause I really want you guys to take a very close look at that. So when he's here next time,
Hmm.
we can talk about this. What's missing? What needs to be done? What do you think?
Mhm.
Cause I want that input
Yep.
because now we have to start moving forward. Second of all, I've talked to the AV people
Mhm.
who had to have a different, you know, it's what I said to you, John, that sometimes you have to talk my language, and when you don't talk my language, I don't know what you're talking about. So I kind of said that to him, what are you talking about? Well, he thought we were taking this projector and screen, and I said, no, we want 2 television sets over there. I've already put in where they'll go. And we want to use them for our Zoom meetings, et cetera.
Mhm.
So Tim had not included them in his bid.
Right.
He stated he could include them as an alternate into his bid, but how this is all gonna get hooked up. So I'm gonna make sure you have that before the next meeting. We're supposed to get at the end of this week, next week from him.
Mhm.
And I really want you guys to take a look at that because I sent him the plans for the building so he can determine how many speakers we're gonna need in the
Sure,
ceiling, because
yep.
we're not taking these with us.
Mhm.
And we're not taking this projector system with us.
Yep.
What we're taking with us is this box with all of the microphones in it will go on the wall in the meeting room over there. And then the one up above here is gonna go in the IT room.
Mhm.
Along with all the stuff that Tim is bringing over to the IT room.
Yep.
And Tim is talking about having one big box for all of his IT stuff, and then this small one can go above it or whatever.
Mhm.
So that's the intent. Do I understand all this? Hell no, I just know I need to get it done. So that's where I'm at.
Yep, that makes sense. So I just want to clarify. So you've asked the AV people to add the TVs to their quote or?
as an alternate,
Okay,
because they're saying they're gonna have to program that into this to make it work.
well, and I was
Just like
thinking,
yeah,
yeah, I definitely would want to get a quote from them for the TVs because ideally, since they have to get it to work,
right.
if they provide, if they're the ones that bring the TVs to the game, then we don't have a finger pointing issue.
That's kind of where I'm at on this, that I'm concerned about that then Tim can just do all the IT stuff and
Yep.
the security cameras and all that stuff that he's gonna do.
Yep,
And leave this AV system to the AV specialists.
yep, absolutely. That would be my preference if it can work, so.
What do you
Yeah,
think,
and-
Anton?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And the other thing, given that we're moving from having one screen to two, is we should find out whether we also are going to want to upgrade or replace that laptop that we're using for the meetings right now, or whether it can drive two monitors.
Right, no, it'll have to be replaced because it's having some issues.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Because
and
we've had
Anton,
it since 2020. So we got 4 years on this
Yeah.
laptop and not that it's used for a lot of stuff, but it's getting noisy. I know things are starting to happen to it. And I want a new one for over there. I just think that's the way to go.
yeah, that makes sense. And actually, the worst part is if you have a machine that's getting noisy and then all of a sudden it becomes quiet, then you're in serious trouble.
I know,
Cause that means the fan went from being noisy to stopped.
yeah, yeah.
So if that starts to be quiet before we move
Well, and
forward,
we need a new camera because I'm not taking that
Yep.
one. So there's things like that that have to be added on.
Mhm.
But I just want them to come in with a quote that we can look at and then get them to come in maybe to the July meeting here and talk to us about the AV stuff.
sounds good.
Does that sound good? Okay.
Hey,
Yes.
Mary. Oh, you're on mute.
Still on mute.
She's on mute.
Anyway, well,
You can hold down the space bar if the mute button's not working.
I'm gonna see if I can unmute her. Maybe she's muted over here.
I found it. I tried to move the video and I couldn't find it. Now I found it.
All right.
sounds good.
Okay,
Did you have thoughts?
No, I just came in on the tail end of it. You're gonna get a new
Uh-oh.
laptop because that one's falling apart.
Yeah, it was just,
Yeah,
she's talking about moving all of the AV to the new building.
Oh,
And
yeah.
as part of that, we're getting two displays,
TVs.
two TVs, and we'll get a new laptop at the same time. Cause one of the things I started to think about, Anton, as you were talking, is I'd originally envisioned the two TVs basically facing different directions. So
Right.
they'd basically just be mirroring and showing
Right.
the same thing on both.
so one faces the board and one faces the audience.
Yeah, the question is, would you also want the ability to have something different on the two screens?
No,
Okay,
no, because in a public meeting, it has to be the same.
okay, that makes sense.
Yep. So they won't be halfway down the room. They're gonna be about
Yep,
25% to a third in the room.
yep,
So like here, they'd be where this table is,
yeah,
facing you and then facing them.
yep.
Yep.
I'm looking
So-
at what size, like a 50-inch or something like that.
I told him 60. But
Okay.
he'll have to measure when he comes over after the building gets up.
Yeah, I'll be honest with I've been looking at the prices of televisions recently.
They're
And
incredibly cheap.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
I tell, a 70 inches today is cheaper than the 43-inch that we have in our basement was. And it was super cheap back when I
Yeah.
got it. It's like, holy cow, you can get a 70-inch just monitor TV for less than $500.
Right.
Buy it the
You
right
don't need
time.
one though, just so you know.
Oh, yeah.
that's a personal comment.
No,
Um,
we never use it, but
But I told him I wasn't willing to go to the projector
yeah,
because either you have to put the screens on the side walls
yeah.
and it's so far away for the board to see. I just, the TV screens are a much better way to go.
Yeah, and I think this display is probably probably a 70-inch.
Yes,
So.
yeah. So that's the focus and we'll bring that back.
Yes, we'll see
Okay.
what they come back with, and if he
Yep.
comes back with crazy prices, we might, well, we'll talk to him about it when he's here.
That's right. We'll see what happens.
All right, any other town hall? Now, the last I heard, it's not gonna be ready until late fall into
They're
winter,
hoping to get us in by the first of the year.
first of the year.
They will not have us in more than likely before the election. Primarily because they're having problems with supply chain on some electrical and plumbing.
Hmm.
He said he's already put the orders out for it, so it's not like we're gonna wait till June and order it. It's already
Sure.
out there. But he said that does pose an issue, which I hear that across the board, that
Yeah.
that's the issues is that stuff.
Yeah,
They want to get started here. They wanted to start today, but it rained, of course. So they're going to be out here this week staking and getting it all ready to go.
yeah, and there's certainly a chance that, the AV stuff will potentially run into supply chain as well.
Right.
So, okay,
So I'd rather be here where I know I have it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we have the luxury of, we don't have an urgent need to be out of this building, so
Right.
we can make sure that we wait until the building's ready. All right, any other town hall updates? Website update.
I do have one update for the website. Remember, we talked about how people were submitting things through the
Oh,
website
yeah.
and we couldn't find them or
Mhm.
never got them?
Mhm.
Well, apparently there's this whole other, I don't know what you call it, maybe a module, I don't
Mhm.
know, called HeyGov. That
Oh.
is part of our package, but they never set me up for it.
Hmm.
So
Oh.
all these messages, we had a lot of messages in there that nobody was looking at.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. So I'm in there now and I can see them and we're dealing with that. There you go.
So the plus side is we at least now know where they're going.
So yeah.
Well, that's
homework.
good news.
And we know
because
we can use them.
Yeah, we
it's,
can use them. Yeah,
Never good when you have an option to solicit input that you never see.
that you never see. Yeah, because like the old website, I was able to get emails.
Mhm.
And now this one I have to like go into
Mhm.
it and log in, but that's okay.
Mhm.
It's there.
Well, the
I'm
nice thing is
really
that
glad that we
means,
found that.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the benefit of having them not just go to your email is they're then in a place where other people could see them, so they're not dependent upon you checking your email. Like if you're on vacation,
Right, true. Yes, that is true. Mhm.
so.
And forms, I'm working on forms. I'm updating most of the forms, so there's more on there now. But it's a process, so they're getting there. I'm handling it, let's put it that way. Yeah.
So on a somewhat qualitative note, just from working with it, now you've been working with it for coming up close to 6 months.
Mhm.
How's it working for you?
I actually really
Has-
like it.
Have you gotten the benefit you were hoping?
Yes,
Okay,
I really like it.
Good.
Yeah,
Good, good, good.
yeah, that's really good.
that's good, because as we were talking about before we started the meeting is in technology, just because somebody says something doesn't mean when you actually do it, it turns out to be as great, so.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy with it
Uh,
now, especially now that I kind of, a little more, I understand it better.
Mhm.
Let's put it that way.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Any other website update?
Nope, that's all I have.
Okay, any questions or comments? All right, review IT budget. Update sub install QB invoice 1030. What is that? It's Sunnylink.
QuickBooks.
That is QuickBooks, so we're paying
No, Not
Sunnylink.
Sunnylink.
See, that's why I was confused, because to me it looked like QuickBooks, but then I'm going, but it's Sunnylink.
Oh. That's updating the supervisor change. Soup 3. So the supervisor changed, so
Ah.
he has to go in there and update it
Got it.
and install.
Oh,
And then the-
QB invoices, that's the invoice that
Yeah.
it paid.
Yes.
Got it.
Yep.
That's the tie to QuickBooks. Okay, that makes sense. So that was getting the new supervisor all set up. and
Yes.
Squared away and
Yeah,
sounds good. That's not bad. And then we've, our general admin isn't growing, which is good, because looks roughly the same as it was last month, so.
Good.
So any, questions or comments on the IT budget?
All looks fine to me.
All right, recommendations to town board. We do not have any this month.
Yeah.
Items for next agenda will, basically, we're gonna have Tim
Yep.
hopefully attend next month. And the key things we
Passwords
wanted.
carry forward.
Yeah, so we'll carry forward the Google Drive Synology, so we'll want to talk to him about Synology admin. And the spam email. And we should take the opportunity then to talk with him about the town hall update. Or the
Right.
town hall.
Cause I'll
stuff.
make sure you get all those documents again. She can just email them out to you so you have them.
Yep,
And so you review them all and see what's missing or what you don't understand.
yeah. So, and let's flag those specific things that we wanted to talk with Tim about, so we'll slide them up to the beginning.
Spam email and
I'll let you catch up.
what was the town hall, the
Town hall
quotes?
quotes.
Quotes, okay. Got it.
And maybe the conversation with Tim would be at the first part of the agenda, so he doesn't have to stay, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
got it,
we'll
Absolutely.
move those up to the top.
got it, okay.
And then we'll still have password management. Basically, everything will carry over.
Okay,
Because like I said, I think we want to just keep the website update just to
Yeah,
kind
fair.
of stay in
Yeah.
tune for a while. It doesn't take long. There's nothing, there's nothing. All right, data next meeting, June 25th. Does that work for everybody?
yes, for me.
Yes, for me.
All right, works for me. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second. All right, we're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
All
Thank
right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.